What's up, guys? It's Hot 7 RCT bringing you another video for you guys. Today we're going to be doing the full review of Soul Calibur 6. It's a long time coming. Haven't been played a Soul Calibur game in ages, and I mean ages. Now, I know I've covered a number of different fighters here on the channel, everything from Tekken 7 to Dragon Ball Fighters, Blaze Blue, Cross Tag on the Switch, to name a few. All, of course, with the arcade stick in tow to make that arcade feeling much more authentic. But one of the fighters, out of the my favorite two fighters of all time, this is one of them. This is Soul Calibur. Now, of course, this also celebrates another thing going on here, is that it's the first Soul Calibur, to my knowledge, that is available on PC. So that makes things even much better, at least in my case and some of the PC gamers' case. So yeah, I've been pretty hyped. I've been trying within the time limits to get into the game, at least now, after several days, and the hype kind of went down. You guys saw the preview we had. Had a little fun doing the versus gameplay, just to give you guys a taste of what to expect on the full review. In this case, this video is going to focus more on the available modes that the game offers. Maybe play a little bit of arcade, play a little bit of the mission Libra of Soul, which is the story mode tailor-made for the custom character creation that the game has for you guys. The story mode, of course, a complete story mode called Soul Chronicle, and just give you a little taste of each of the modes available. It's not a complete playthrough, of course. Given the limitations of the video, I want to keep it short as possible for YouTube consumption, of course. But of course, you can leave a comment down below if you wish for me to do a complete playthrough in any of the modes. If I get enough people to warrant that, I'll consider doing it. But for now, let's focus on the game at hand. Lower the music here completely. The game so far, and I'm going to get this out of the way because, of course, the title of the video is Soul Calibur 6 PC Review. So I'm going to try my best to do the review part now, so you can, the rest of the video be it a little bit more visual, so you can see how well or how much the game has progressed since its last iteration. Now, full disclosure, I haven't played a proper Soul Calibur game, really played it since back in the GameCube days, because of course the other Soul Calibur iterations that came afterwards, like 3, 4, and so on, they came on PlayStation platforms, and at the time, as many of you guys know, the last generation I skipped, and this generation I basically did the same, as at least where the PlayStation platform is concerned. However, I have been going to the past a lot to revisit these games. Soul Calibur 2 on the GameCube was one of my favorites, right there tied with the Dreamcast version of Soul Calibur, the original one. Many people say that it hasn't advanced enough. I can say that visually, of course you're going to find it a bit different, a bit more detailed, but the soul, no pun intended, of the series is still there. The gameplay, of course, is more like a ballad. You cannot compare this type of game with something like Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat, where you do have precise movements here, you do have the timing factor, but everything has its own flow and timing, and you get to string together things that is not exactly the same tempo or pace as something like Street Fighter, where it's more fast and how much can I get into this combo kind of deal. This one has more elaborate movements and stuff like that. It's a weapons based fighter. So that in itself is going to separate it from the rest of the gang. Now, I did mention this is one of my two favorite fighters, the other one being the Samurai Showdown, which of course was already announced for the PlayStation platform next year. I'm hoping that a PC version is in the work. If it is, I'm going to be covering that as well. But for now, enough of the talk. As far as I'm concerned in terms of score, I wouldn't put this in a 1 to 10 scale, but if I did have to, I would say it's around 8.5 to 9ish. Be it controls, graphics, audio, I mean, everything is there. Everything that I could ever hope and want from the game is there. And basically the modes. I mean, I paid for the game. I did not feel ripped off because it has not only one story mode, it has two story modes. One with the original character that you create, and one for the existing characters so you can see their own story and stuff like that. Plus a creation mode, so you can create with all of the tools and stuff that they have, that the game offers, create whatever you want. And I'm going to get into a little bit of that later on. But for now, let's go into the gameplay screen and bring the sound up for the game. Just give me a second here. Alright, so there we are. Now this basically is what you're going to get. As soon as you boot up the game, you have these options here. I'm going to focus on these right here. I'm not going to go into the network one or the museum, because the museum is basically what you would expect, especially with Namco games. It's you know, wide variety of pictures and artwork and videos, and a little nice touch for those fans of the series. Now when we get into battle, straight up you have your training modes, your versus mode, and of course the arcade, which is the more straight up. I'm going to begin with this one. And of course I'm recording at 60 frames per second because this game, anything below that is not really good at all, to be honest. This game needs to be experienced at 60 frames per second. Now I'm going to take one of my mains, which is Mitsurugi, and if you're here for a round or two, now you guys stay tuned, because as of this recording, I'm going to try and make a few more after this one. Considering doing tomorrow, Sunday, a test stream, so stay tuned for that. If it works out fine, then I think I'm going to go back to doing that at least once a week. Now this right here is one of the new moves for the series, which is the role reversal technique. And she kicked my ass. And it's one of those techniques that, depending on who initiates it, depending on your next attack, you can either succeed and block it, like she did. Oh, I missed that one. Damn. Okay. Oh, still got another one. I gotta say that AI is merciless.
The battle is over. Show respect for the fallen who fought so bravely.
Let's give it one more go.
Thanks for the
Emergent.
I will give you a tip.
This is my big moment. I'm in.
Battle 1.
Let's do this.
Goes another.
Too easy.
Damn.
You'll regret fighting me.
Victory goes to the last one standing.
Battle 2. Fight. Excessive strength.
That's great.
Now it's my turn, babe. Oh, she caught me with that one. Ooh, that was close.
Fight to your last breath.
Now, of course, you have special moves as well. Just trying to land one here. There you go.
Depart this life. The end.
Which are much more elaborate moves than before. So Mitsurugi is starting to warm up to the whole thing. Got one more round. Nope. She got me. You lose a lot of momentum with the reversals. If they catch you, that's it. So it's down to this one.
Victory will not come easily.
Final battle. Fight. Time to end you. Depart this life. The end.
Oh, I missed it. Come on. No. You got me.
Claim victory and bask in the glory.
Sorry, Mitsurugi. She was too quick for you. Now, as you can see, the artwork, the graphics on this is just short of amazing. I mean, everything is crystal crisp, if that's even a term. The Unreal Engine on this game does wonders for it, even though they haven't strayed much from the art style from it. And this, of course, being, even though it's a 6, Soul Calibur 6 is kind of like a reimagining of the first Soul Calibur, in it that it focuses more like a recreation of the first Soul Calibur storyline. Now, let's get in here. Let's check the creation mode for a second. This, of course, gives you the option of not only downloading created characters from, from the internet, you have enough spaces here for you to go ahead and download characters. I've downloaded a few that are just amazing. Take for example, one of my favorite characters here was recreated, Guts from Berserk. And of course you download them and you can actually start editing. Attention to detail is pretty nice. I mean, it's not a 1-1 match for the character, but it comes pretty close considering what they get. It allows you to even go into a mock battle just to see how your character, your creation works within the fighting, fighting circumstances, of course. Again, it's not a 1-1 perfect match to the character, but it's pretty close. I mean, you got the big sword and everything, and everything from the hair, cape, and everything looks pretty much spot on. So this is an example of what people out there can do with the creation tools. You don't have to wait for modding tools or anything like that, because the game allows you to do that in game. So that's kind of cool. Of course, there's stuff that you're gonna find like Alucard and like other fighters from other games as well. And the way you go about this is you just pick one of the spaces available that you have, and you start just moving around. You press one of the buttons and you're gonna see the creations online, and it's gonna give you, if you like it enough, it's gonna give you an option to download that. If you see something interesting that catches your eye, all you do is, let me see if I find something here. And if you want it, all you have to do is press A and you download the character, and automatically it becomes part of your roster. That just stays with you. As you can see, it's right here. Of course, you can create your own characters like I did here with very quickly. I didn't really put too much into it, but I kind of made like a recreation of Link from Legend of Zelda with the whole sword and shield thing. Now I wish it would be nice if you get to customize right down to the very last detail, so you can include other things. But it looks pretty, given the tools that are available immediately, it's pretty accurate. A much older Link, of course. And yeah, that's basically what you got to mess around with. You can spend hours and hours on this aspect alone. So the next up would be, and these two I haven't tested out, so I'm going to test it out for the first time with you guys, because all I've been doing is just trying to get into terms with the controls and stuff like that, and with the new mechanics, how does it change from the previous versions and stuff. So let's try this, which is a story mode that it's
transcending history and the world, a tale of souls and swords eternally retold.
yeah, this one is a story mode for the characters.
A legendary sword and devourer of souls. Buried in the darkest reaches of history, it was brought back to light in the 16th century. The notorious pirate Servant...
Skip this part.
So close was their bond that when one felt happy or sad, the other would feel the same. The years passed. Killick's skill earned him throughout the ages. Ling Shangsu Temple had
Okay, so this is a straight up story mode. I think that it doesn't have any gameplay though.
Sure.
How come you were chosen? I thought you'd get.
Okay, let's skip this part and see if my theory is correct. Oh no, you actually get to play them.
It's kill or be killed.
So as you can see, you follow the whole storyline, which I'm guessing it's basically, depending on the timeline, you get the character that corresponds to that timeline. Now, I'm not seeing something here for... Let's skip this part, see if I can get out from here. Let's return to the timeline menu. Wow, there's certainly a lot to play with here. No, that's a little bit of the Soul Chronicle story mode. That's the main story mode for all the characters. Let's test this out.
The ray of light from the evil seed pierced the sky, its glow reaching as far as India. And here we find another person whose fate was entwined with the two swords.
I hope they allowed me to use...
Consumed by the evil seed, yet still with presence of mind. You are quite the interest still.
Let me use one of my creations. Don't make me do one from scratch, please. Oh, geez, don't tell me you got... It seems I can't use one of my created ones. wonder if you can choose. Nope, apparently it has to be from scratch. Let's exit the mode and see if I can enter the mode. No.
The ray of light from the evil seed pierced the sky. Its
Alright, so let's do something real quick here. Even though I would have liked doing or using one of my own creations, which is kind of, to be honest, it's kind of backwards. Because if you have to do like everything from scratch here, then what's the point of having the creations in a list? Might be missing something. I don't know. Alright, let's do something. Let's restart it.
If you can keep a hold of who you are, you will be able to stave off the chaos.
Let's do that again. Gotta relaunch Soul Calibur. Let me go for another arcade mode battle. That is kind of weird, the fact that you cannot take one of the characters that you already created and use it for that story mode, unless I'm missing something, which to be honest I haven't. This is like the first time I checked that mode for you guys.
Soul Calibur VI.
But it is what it is. So let's go into a little bit of the... Let's go for one more battle here in the arcade. And try... two heavy hitters here.
A merchant ship replete with riches attracts more chaos than customers.
Of course, I'm using the Xbox One controller instead of the arcade. Arcade stick probably would have given me a little bit more leverage, but I didn't want to do so much noise because the mic is going to pick up a lot on the button sounds. Alright.
Victory goes to the last one standing.
Battle 2. Fight.
The cool thing about Geralt is that he can use magic as well as ooh, got me. There you go. Here we go. Nice.
Victory goes to the last one standing.
Battle choice. Fight.
Ooh. Ouch, Geralt.
Claim victory and bask in the glory.
Now that was pretty quick. Far cry from what I was doing in the beginning with Misurugi. And man, the level of detail on Geralt is just amazing. Oh, my second main. I want to try using Voldo now, because that's the second one that I kind of main more.
In a cursed
Geralt of Rivia, Witcher.
Badass. Now people don't like that character, but I like that character. That character is fucking wicked. I even made a custom version of it. Which, by the way, I'm going to be using now. See? At least it lets you use the creations in arcade. That's cool. That I kind of missed. So, yeah. I'm going to start. The name, however. I'm going to change the name. Now, this is my creation done with the moveset of Valdo.
more chaos than customers.
Care to dance with me?
It is anyone's battle.
Battle 1. Fight.
Time to drill.
You want
Beautiful. Love it. Special move time.
naughty?
Here we go. Ooh. Oh. What a way to end that round.
How'd that feel?
Victory goes to the last one standing.
My creation is a monster in a good way. Gotcha.
The battle is over. Show respect for the fallen who fought so bravely.
I like your passion. Let's play again sometime.
That's just the best. That is just the best. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know it's a little on the long side and stuff, but you guys needed to see how the Soul Calibur game has kind of evolved through times. It's in terms of graphics and sound and story and stuff, it's all there. Everything that you would expect if you're a longtime fan. And of course, if you're a newcomer to the series, it has a lot of things in place to make it a bit more welcoming instead of overwhelming. So that being said, I still stand by my score. I give it an 8.5, between 8.5 to 9, just to keep it there, a little space in between, a wiggle room, because there's some stuff that could be, you know, better, but I'm not complaining. For my money, Soul Calibur 6, amazing. So check you guys later. Hope you have a great time. Leave a comment down below. Please like and sub and share the video. It really helps out. And I'm gonna see you next time.